Okay. Okay, so let's start. Okay, welcome everybody. This is Fossil Echo, a little game from France, from two developers from France, and I think nobody will will know about this game. But it's a really cool game. It's a little platformer, 2D platformer, and actually it's pretty good looking. And yeah, the speedrun is kinda smooth, but there are some interesting strats in the game. I try to explain then. At first, I want to mention that the soundtrack of the game is really great, and it's made by John Robert Matz, which, like the name will be shown in the next screen. He's a really cool guy, so check him out. Definitely, it's worth it. Yeah, the beginning of the game is a little bit boring, but later on it gets like, at least it gets beautiful, at least that. But there are some really cool strats, like I said. And I hope like the world record holder too will donate for every death I will experience in this run. There's no deathless run in this category yet, so there will be a donation, I guess. Yeah, since I will not be able to change that, because in the top two runs, in my run and the first place run, there is only one death, like in the really end of the game, which is really stupid. Okay, okay, the story of the game: we are a little boy climbing up a tower where some guards are trying to kill us if they see us, so we have to be sneaky. And while we do this, there are some optional levels, the temples, which I will do in the speedrun. I think this is the most interesting part of the category. There are some auto-scroller levels like this one, and like the regular levels. And in the auto-scroller levels, you are not allowed to fall down or to lose as much time or more time than than the scroller allows you normally. And yeah, this is right before the first dreaming sequence. The first 7 temples are in the dreaming sequences, where the boy gets to sleep, and then we like get a little bit of his past. We will not see any cutscenes because we are able to skip them, and we obviously want to do this. Yeah, so here we're going to sleep the first time, and then we're doing the first temple. And the temples are the hardest levels of the game. It's a bit tricky. If you play it casually, you will need some time to finish the temples. I hope I will get them pretty fast. Okay. So this is temple number 1. There's like one possible. Okay, first death. So no deathless run today. There's one possible skip, which would make it one cycle faster, but I will not do it. I don't even do it by trying to get a PB, so I will not do it on a marathon as well. And will take my time here. So if we would make the cycle early, we wouldn't have to wait for the right platform. Okay. So yeah, and if you play the game with all the temples, you will get an extra cutscene at the end, where all the cutscenes of the game get into the right order, and you can understand the story a bit better. Which is like a really nice thing for the casual playthrough, but like we will not watch any cutscenes, so yeah. And the story is like not the most interesting part of the game, let's say it like this. Yeah. Okay, so coming up, there are some levels that try to introduce us into some game mechanics, into the guards, and stuff like this, and hopefully I can show like the first skip in the next room, because there are some levels where you should like wait for the guards to walk for a long time. Oh no, it's the room after this one, I guess. And we just try to avoid some of the waiting time. Okay, this happens when the guards see you, and then they try to shoot you. And we have some drones here. The drones are also like the guards, if you are in the circle they make, then they try to shoot you and follow you. Okay, next auto-scroller. What is interesting about the auto-scroller levels is that sometimes you can fall down a little bit, and if you're fast enough then you're able to make it anyways, but most of the time you will die if you fall down. Even though you're still on screen, the game thinks you're too slow. Okay, here in this level you normally would have to wait a long time for the left guard, but since we knocked him out by jumping on his head early and jumping into the shadows, we can make it pretty quickly. There's one faster strat, but this is really hard to get, so I will not try it. Yeah, and there's the next streaming sequence. Yeah, actually shoutouts to Kings and to Martin, who are the other runners of this game, and both of them are really cool companions for like making races or stuff like that, and both figured out some really cool skips and some really interesting things about the game. And also shoutouts to the developers, which are really supportive and yeah, really cool people. Right here I try to skip the left part of the temple by just jumping to the right there and then try to finish it as fast as possible. The second temple is one of the more easy ones. In the third temple there's like a really interesting skip. I will explain when it comes to this. This streaming sequence, in the streaming sequence there is a village coming up in the next screen, and in the village you are able to steal a fruit. We will not do this, but in the casual playthrough you can skip a fruit. You will see that the game gets smaller right now, and then you can grab the fruit. And you can give it to the old man in this screen, in this screen, and then he eats the fruit and is thankful. But there's an achievement if you just grab the fruit and don't give it to the old man. You get an achievement for that, which is like a really weird thing to do. But when I found out, I was amused. Okay, third temple. This temple has no cycles, so it's just about being fast. And if you're messing stuff up, you cannot go back because the wooden planks are broken. Okay. The arrows show where we should go, but we will not do this. Instead, we will just go here and skip a big part of the level, which was found by Kings, I guess, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, in the upcoming part there are like the most hard levels of the game, and I'm really nervous for the next one. There's like one empty room, and then there comes a really interesting skip, but it's definitely worth it because it saves a lot of time. We call it the ice guard skip or the travel joke skip because it was found by a friend of mine playing it casually, and like his last name is the German version of travel joke, so that's what it's called. We had to climb up all the level and going around, but instead of this we're trying to let the right guard shoot the left one, which worked pretty well. And when he turns around we can just climb up directly to the door. Okay, glad this worked for first try. And there's the next auto-scroller. But there is like one level which is definitely, or I think it's definitely more harder, and if you like mess it up, you will lose like 15 seconds, I guess, every time. So let's just hope this will work fine as well. In this auto-scroller levels, it's always the feathers that are flying away, and we try to grab them. And if we're too slow, the feathers are gone. So this is the level I mean, because Normally you would have to wait for like a really long time, and we try to let the left guard shoot the right one, and then we have to avoid his bullets, which is not really easy all the time. Okay, and not first try, but I will try it again. Yeah, and it saves like definitely I would say like 40 seconds, because you have to wait so long because the guards are walking so slowly and you're always waiting for the other guard. Okay, made it. The rest of the level is pretty simple. Okay, coming up there are like the next temples in the next streaming sequence. Okay, so this is temple number 4, and in temple number 4 we are like still trying to find a skip, but it seems like not really possible to skip a cycle there. So it's definitely just like doing it how it is intended. Still glad I made it. Mess it up like 30% of the time, I guess. Yeah, you can see like over the temple doors there's always a moon symbol, and this is like what the temples are about a little bit. There's a cycle of the moon, which is somewhat important for the game, but not that I get the point of the moons. It's just always there, and looks pretty nice. Maybe it's about like the order of the temples or the cutscenes you get. Maybe you have to look for the moons if you want to get the right cycle. So this is where the game wants to show us that you can go kill guards with other guards. That means all the time we did it before, it was definitely not intended, but possible. So this is a really cool mechanic which makes the speedrun definitely more interesting. Oh, dang. Shouldn't have jumped there. Okay, so in this temple we try to get an early cycle by platform later on, which is possible if we are fast enough, and you should just slide down there. This platform, if we get it, yeah, I didn't get it. If we get it and we can jump from there on, we can be a little bit faster. Didn't manage to get it another time, so let's try it once more. If you see this red arrows, that should show you that the temples are optional in a speedrun, then it's definitely really bad, because it means that you're dying a lot. Okay, this time it should work. Okay, great. So we're getting the time from the in-game timer for the leaderboards, but I still think there is like a little difference if you have like slow loading times, because yeah, I think I'm losing time to the beginning of the game at least, where you have the boat scene. Here we try to manipulate the guard by just climbing down there for a second, so it's slower and will not see us when we walk down to the right here, or not shoot us at least. Yeah, and now we have like the most interesting level of the game. It's just like 2 minutes of climbing. So if there are any donations, then we have time for this now. Otherwise, just try to enjoy the visuals and the sound.
Well, there are sadly no donations right now.
Okay.
But I have to say the game looks really good.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful game. I've seen it on Gamescom 2016, and I was like really stunned by the graphics. It's really cool, and this is like a really cool level to show like the graphics and the colors. So it's a really nice level, but it's a little bit boring in a speedrun if you're doing it for like the 5th time. Oh, and definitely I can use the time to tell if you want to run the game, then we also have a Discord you can check out by going to the speedrun.com page. In the forum there's like a link to this, and yeah, we are always happy to see new members, but yeah, since the run is somewhat optimized, it's not that easy to get a good time without a lot of practice. Still pretty fun to do, and there are also, for the temples, like individual levels, which are really cool because we try to beat each other out as well. So check it out if you're interested.
Actually, we just received a $20 donation from Junkyard Dave saying, "Dude, here."
I couldn't hear you, sorry.
We just received a $20 donation from Junkyard Dave saying, "Dude, here."
Okay. Okay. So we have a lot of drone levels coming up. In this one we try to jump on this drone to skip the left part of the level, but it has to be lower, so I try it once more.
So now there are some donations flying in, so whenever we have time.
Yeah, just do it.
Okay, so we have $10 from Lagia, I guess, saying, "You're the best." And we have $5 from Vince saying, "Good luck, Kim."
Thanks, Vince. Thanks, Vince. Okay, so there are coming up temple number 6 and temple number 7. I try to explain a bit what I'm doing there, or what is possible there, because I will not do it sometimes. Like here we could skip one cycle by just not climbing up here and just going to the right after the platform breaks, but it's like somewhat risky, so I will not do it. And I try to perform like, oh, okay, should have pressed to the right longer. Okay, one more try. Oh, that's not good. Okay, this was temple number 6, which I usually don't mess up, and temple number 7 is one of the harder temples, and I think I messed it up in my PB, so it is my only death in my PB, which really sucks. Oh my god. Okay. Okay, I messed it up there. We should be fine though. Okay, we're trying to do a skip here by just not climbing up there and trying to grab this here, and yes, I made it. So, I think this is not even less safe than doing it the intended way. Yeah, and from now on there is no risky level since we get to temple number 8, which is the only temple that is not in a dreaming sequence. And if you have any ideas why this is, you can just like write it in the chat or tell us in the Discord. But yeah, I managed to die in another level for not being there for a second. Yeah, there are a lot of cutscenes in the end of the game we skip, but they are like really important to get the story or to get the motivation of the boy climbing up this tower, if you play it casually. But since you don't get any part of the story, I will not spoil you if you want to play it casually, and I just recommend you do so.
Do we have time for some more donations?
Yeah, go for it.
We have $10 from Tomek saying, "Hey Kim, cheering for you from Aachen. You got this."
Thanks, Tomek.
And we got another $10 from Maxstar A7X saying, "Go Kim, go! And good luck on the Asamu run."
Thank you. Yeah, I will play another game at this marathon, and there are some people donating from the community from the other game. Obviously, the community is bigger, so there are more people. But thank you all for your donation. This is what we call the fake auto-scroller because it's not scrolling up, but if you fall, like, you can still die, but your feathers are on your head all the time. Okay, I think I should explain this level. This level is really interesting because it can be somewhat risky, but since we found out that you can just jump on this drone to get to the end, it's like way more easy. Still a really nice level. Yeah, and the coming up dreaming sequence is like, after the ladder scene, the most boring part of the game because you just have to walk to the right. And press A to talk to people. Because the boy is searching for something and he just made a paper to show to other people. And yeah. They are not amused, like you will see now. Okay, coming up is temple number 8, so let's just see if I can get this first try at least. I'm doing okay on time. My estimate was really generous, so I didn't mess that up. Okay, there's temple number 8. It's the last regular like level where you can die in the game. Yeah, and this is the level the world record holder messed up in his PB, so this is like a really bad spot to mess a run up. Okay, we have to wait here for a second, and then we should be fine. Okay, this was temple number 8. So we have like one last irregular dreaming sequence coming up where we get the story of like the parents of the boy, and then we're done. That's the end of the game. So let's wait this up. I can, there is like a thing called cutscene crashing. If I would press start right now, the game would crash for some reason. They still didn't manage to fix it. So this was the last thing I was scared of. So yeah, here we have like the parents. This is our dad. We have a cutscene here. We skip it by dad. We have like a cutscene here. We skip it, and then we're back here, and actually time. Thank you. So now there's the interesting part where I see how often I died. I died 10 times, so I will donate $20. Yeah. So thank you for watching. Check the game out if you want on Steam, and not really expensive. Yeah, and it's worth it, I would say. And here we can like see that we managed to get all the temples. Yes. Okay, so there would be like the end cutscene for doing all the temples here, but since I don't want a spoiler, I will not watch it. So thank you for watching, thank you for donating, guys, and yeah, let's have a great GSM.
Yeah, and thank you for showing this awesome run of Fossil Echo.